I'm a man who's been molded and tanned by his profession. The experience I have is a conclusion of too many arduous years. The scenes I have witnessed were strong enough to ripen the human inside of me to the extent that I no longer recognize myself, as I turn to an automated machine, a cold-blooded beast. Therefore, in my endeavor to nurture my humanity, I kept on making paints that symbolize everything I saw and felt, figures and colors that defy odds and try hardly to mimic the reality. So tremendously driven to listen the heat that is craving to be exhaled, I lay on your eyes and ears the story of mine, featuring the eternal dualities of everything, life and death, faith and doubt, and many others untold, weaved in harmony as a masterpiece of art. And indeed, as these things used to come, my story too does come into
a new dusk, being a long night and hopefully different promising dawn. Temptations are extremely surging, yet the trepidations are elegantly fashioned in the form of an internal question. Is it just another typical morning? Or there is something more hidden in the cryptic force of time? You open your eyes every day to the very same scenes of an ordinary life. Maybe there's something more to see this day. It is a deeply buried rapture, waiting to be entertained. Have you been carefully prepared, watching for the time, dressing up to meet the expectations, trying to fit yourself in this hectic and ceaseless war of quality and prowess? Tightening loose things, but alas, the loose and matters to be tightened remains loose. While grabbing your gears, preparing yourself for the awaited battle, you forget about your closest enemy, and frankly, the worst of them all. Perhaps that is why we do not prevail in our wars. Maybe it's the old unchanged mentality. It is not merely the weapons and gears we choose that matters the most, but it is what we carry inside and what we believe. Truth told and laid, that some lessons in life cannot be told in a book. And on another sideline of the chronicles, it seems very strange how someone reacts and redesigns himself with the ruthless and adamant strokes of despair, struggling to find the path after the so agonizing pangs of conscience. However, the hopes for another better day have never been trampled to the ground in a world of oblivion. They say there's a first time for everything, but mournfully, some have missed hearing that some first times shall be the last times as well. Then the day begins. It is a heavy kickoff. Couple of patients in hand, 2 waiting safe transfer to ICU, 2 for urgent dialysis sessions, 1 for blood transfusion, all man winding in agony from chest pain. And another one seems to be raising a white flag for a chronic ailment. This one might be the least of your concerns for the moment. And as the day gets tougher than before, time goes by in a wink of an eye. And amidst of that energy-draining battle, you wish your task and duties vanish as fast as a second. How come? While you carry a load of what 10 men could barely afford. May God be with you. The phone hasn't stopped ringing. Moving with an empty stomach is inescapable. But in fact, it's a case that turned to habit. Have you ever witnessed the evanescence of a mortal soul? Do you remember the ghastly scene of a silent pain and the escape of the last gasp? And there comes the moment when you have a second thought about your life and career. There is no escape from being mired in a well of deep remorse and sorrow. You save on nothing but bitterness as you are exposed to your own imperfections and fears.
Code Blue, ICU, Bed 5. Code Blue, ICU, Bed 5. Code Blue, ICU, Bed 5.
Start chest compression immediately. I need blood samples urgently. Stop. Check his pulse. No pulse. Give adrenaline immediately. Now. Keep the fluids running and take blood samples for investigation. Switch every 2 minutes.
It is that moment when you realize the truth. Crystal clear as the sun. It has never been a matter of gears. Your shadows within and their reflections outside are what you have been destined to meet. The time will pass, and you will definitely learn from your own experience and the lives of the ones who gave you their trust demised nothing but a fair chance to be healed. Therefore, it's a fair trade and a glorious endeavor with a great reward. Flawless respect. To win the war, you have to unmask your fears first. Knowledge, skills, passion, and a goodwill infused with patience are your indispensable armamentaria. Be ready, because we are constantly in a battle, and we will never stop, not a second. Join the cause. Be a resuscitator. Be a savior. To resuscitate or not to resuscitate, That is the question.